Hey, it's me, J.Evans, and it's time for us to talk the talk, and we're talking about my recap and my review on the Braxton family values. I told y'all I was going to be doing recaps and reviews on the Braxtons. Now, I couldn't do it last week because there was too much election stuff going on. My head was all discombobulated like a bobblehead, like somebody just shook me up and just spent me around. So the election is over. I don't have to keep saying in the videos, y'all go vote, because people went out and voted. Y'all let y'all voice be heard. Now, let's get into this recap and review, apple pies. But before I do that, let me roll this disclaimer to you and yours. Our topics are alleged and allegedly. They are strictly for gossip and entertainment purposes. So don't come for me saying, oh, J.Evans, I'm going to sue you. No, it's alleged and allegedly, because the only thing I own outright are these Mike and Ice. Y'all remember these? These are delicious. I used to love them when I was a kid. I still love them now. So if you want to come for me, this is the only thing I own, and it ain't but a little taste in the corner. That's why you can have it, baby, because I didn't tow it up. Get into that. Now, if you are not one of my apple pies, that is my subscribers. Go ahead and subscribe so we can stay connected. Set your notifications so when I upload new videos, you'll be able to see those. Click in the description. It has previous videos that I've done. It also has me on social media. You can follow me there as well. And go look at my playlist. It's videos of me running my mouth about any and everything. And be sure to tune in this Sunday for Sizzling Sunday, is when I do a recap of events of everything throughout the week. I was supposed to do it last week. I didn't again. Sorry, apple pies. The election had me all discombobulated and just everything, and I just had to get some rest. But we're going to talk the talk and do Sizzling Sunday this Sunday. So y'all be sure to tune in. And for people that love the show Love After Lockup, I'm doing a recap and review. You knew it was coming. Now, let's get into this episode, apple pies, of Braxton Family Values. This is season 7, episode 2. A Stumble to the Altar. Now, last week I did watch, and if you did not watch, they were doing Trina's little bachelorette party. They had the strippers, they had, you know, the stuff, and Tamar was just acting like she was so holy and saved. So I'm just gonna catch you up with that. Now, Trina is getting married to Vaughn, and they're in St. Louis because they said they're doing it there because his mother has like a few health issues. And I thought that was sweet of Trina to say, okay, let's go to St. Louis. Then they all met up to talk about the wedding, and Tamar is saying, I didn't get any emails from you. I didn't know, you know, about the schedule with Logan. Tamar and Traci, I don't know what's going on with them, if they're just being dramatic, if they want attention, but those two are always acting, that's right, say it with me, a bunny hop jackrabbit fool, not even the delicious Nestle's bunny. Tamar and Traci, what is wrong with y'all? Y'all always acting strange, and ain't nobody even gave y'all a piece of change. It's always drama with those two. Have y'all ever noticed that? Like, Miss E is the matriarch. She's calm, cool, and collected. Miss E is gonna tell you how it is. Tony ain't got time for that. Y'all not finna get Tony on TV acting a fool. And Tawana is cool. Traci, I don't know. And Trina has her little moments, but it's not as dramatic as Tamar and Traci. Traci's always crying, talking about 33,568 20 million years ago, we had a record deal, and that Traci, it's been over 3 billion years, let it go. And Tamar, even Ayana couldn't fix it. Now, Miss E did ask how was the party, and Tamar just kept saying it was nasty. There were strippers. There was a stripper that put grapefruit on his penis. I enjoyed that. That stripper was talented. Did y'all see when the stripper put the fruit on his body part and did it? And they couldn't show all of it, but that was talent. Now, at this point, Tamar then says she wants a wholesome evangelistic slumber party. So Tamar, are you saved? Are you running for the first church lady? Because you need to buy you a church head that can take up the whole first aisle, because now you saved and sanctified and filled with the Holy Ghost. In a minute, you were just out there, you and David, at the Feces Code was out there allegedly you mollywopping him and him calling 911. What is going on with you, Tamar? Now, this episode, I did not see her being portrayed in a wrong light by WeTV. I saw her being a bunny hop jackrabbit fool on her own. So stop saying WeTV is putting you in the wrong light. It's you. Now, at this point, Tony comes into the slumber party, and they all have on these onesies. And then Tamar has on the little white robe, and she's preaching and all this stuff. And then they bring up Trina's cake. That cake was a hot garbage can mess. Now, Trina, what made you want a peacock cake? Like, out of all the kind of cakes you could have for your wedding day apple pies, who says I want a cake like first like a peacock and then they call it a duck cake because it collapsed like it was on life support? Now, at this point, Traci is then saying in her private separate interviews that she is cautious of her sisters. Y'all know last season they got into it, Traci bringing up the same stuff from their record deal from 3,499 billion trillion years ago. Let me tell y'all something, Braxton. Y'all gonna have to let this stuff from the past go and just move forward. Now, they showed them doing a wedding run through. Judge Maybelline was there. Did y'all see Judge Maybelline? Y'all remember when she used to be on divorce court and she used to tell you, look deep before you leap? And some of us didn't listen, including me. Yeah. Now, she was there, and there was no organization to this wedding. It was a hot garbage can mess. Trina, get you a organizer, sis. It's okay if you want to be in control of your wedding, but you need somebody to help you because that was your downfall. She said her oldest brother did not show up for rehearsal. Logan did not show up. He was missing. Everything was all over the place. Judge Maybelline was like, it's a lot going on. She had to practice with the dad walking her down the aisle, but it was like somebody trying to do their own taxes and they don't know what the hell they doing. It was just, I don't know. The cake was delivered and it was towed up from the floor up. Did y'all see that cake apple pies? Again, Trina, your wedding is not the time to experiment and try a crazy cake with a duck on top of it. If you want a duck, just go buy one out the store and bake it. Now, she also tried on her wedding dress and Tony showed up. Now, that was a nice dress. I'm going to give it to her. Her boobs looked good. They were properly placed and propped up. The dress fitted her nice. Her body looked good in the dress. She said it was made in Israel. Some of y'all apple pies, ladies, you might want to go and get you a wedding dress from Israel or a knockoff from down the street in Compton somewhere at the swap meet. But make sure your dress fits and looks nice like that. It was very flattering and it complimented her body really nicely. Now, she also let it be known that her wedding was going to be in the same place, the wedding and reception. A lot of people are doing that. Now, I think that's smart. First, because some of y'all ain't gonna stay together no longer than John stayed in the army. Y'all remember when old people used to tell y'all that? But it's true. And then, to me, some people spend $10,000, $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 on a wedding. That's money you can take to go buy you a house. That's money you can save. A wedding, really, to me, is for you to celebrate you, but it's more so you're doing this, you're buying food. Some people buy alcohol, or you might have an open bar, but you're really doing it to show everybody you're getting married. You think J.Evans is going to spend $30, $40, $50, $60,000 on a wedding? No, I think not. As long as some people stay together, you need to go to the Justice of the Peace and go through the drive-through line at Wendy's, because by 2 months later, y'all gonna call it quits, me included. Now, at this point, she started telling Tony about the cake issue, and Tony stepped in and said she would handle it. Now, I thought that was sweet of Tony, because your wedding is the next day and your cake is a hot garbage can mess disaster. So I'm gonna give you a slice of apple pie, Tony, because you did the right thing as an older sister. But here's where you did the wrong thing. Somebody showed Tony this video, and I'm gonna tell you where you went wrong, sis. When you took Tamar with you to the cake place, epic fail. Stop, because Tamar is too extra. Her and Traci, I don't know what's wrong with them. Now, she was so extra, she decided to tell the cake man, the baker, oh, she decided to get a ghetto cake. Why did you do that? You didn't have to do that. Why are you so extra, Tamar? Then she showed him a picture of the cake, and Tony was like, no, you don't have to do that. You're not there to talk about the cake, to show the old cake. You're here to get a new cake. Oh, that wasn't even called for. You just could say, I need a new cake. What can we do? How can we do it? Then she turned it into Tamar again and said, well, it's sort of because of me they're getting married, because Vaughn proposed to Trina at Tamar's little birthday shindig, and she was upset about that. You upset about everything. But WeTV is making you look bad? No, you making yourself look bad, sis. It's what you're giving them. Now, I know they do some editing, but they edit what you give them. And I need you to pull back. Get yourself together. Do I need to come be your life coach? I told you, go stay with your mama and get yourself together and fly me in. I'll be your life coach. Now, at this point, the cake baker told them it takes a month to make the cake. And Tamar's like, what? Yes, Tamar, it's a wedding cake, okay? It's not a sandwich. Now, he said since they were doing it in 16 hours, the turnaround time, because it had to be ready that morning, it was going to be $2,800, and Tony paid. So I thought that was sweet of Tony to look out for her sister. Then at this point, Tamar, now he had Steven allegedly on his shirt, and so she thanked him and called him Steven. He said his name was Paul. She was still being extra. Just close your mouth. Like older people say, if you ain't got nothing good to say, don't say nothing at all. And if you got to make a fool or a spectacle out of yourself, just close your mouth, baby. Let God work on you, Tamar. Now, then we get to the wedding day. And this is Trina's third time getting married, apple pies. Now, they say the third time is a charm. It was snowing outside. So maybe this will work out for her, because Vaughn is kind of laid back. And to me, he balances her. He seems like a really good guy. So hopefully this will work. But again, there was no organization. Now, Tawanda was like, I'm going to help you. Take your sister's help, because y'all don't know where nobody's sitting. The seating list is gone. You saying the wedding is not starting on time and it's behind 30 minutes. Now, 30 minutes for a wedding just to be behind, that's actually good, because some people take a long time. The groom running off don't want to marry the girl. The girl don't know who she pregnant by. The groom messing with the sister in the coat room. All kinds of stuff going on. This wasn't the case. So that's a good thing, because, you know, sometimes people take 2 and 3 hours. Actually, they were saying that Tamar was saying allegedly Tony wedding was 2 or 3 hours late start. So that's actually good. And what you really do is you tell people a different time to show up, so they come on time early. That's what you do. Now, at this point, it rolled into Trina saying, okay, Tawanda, what are you going to wear? Let me tell y'all something. when you go to somebody's wedding, that day is not about you. It's about those two people getting married. If they were gracious enough to invite you, either they thought enough of you to share that moment, or either they wanted you to bring them a good gift. But either way, you do not upstage a bride or a groom at the wedding. You dress normal. It's not the event to have all eyes on you like you think you Tupac dropping all eyes on me when he went to death row. No, it's not about you. So, apple pie to Wanda. Now, Trina said the dress was okay. It's a no for me, sis. Don't do that no more. Pull your dress a little bit down to your kneecaps at least. I didn't like it. Now, Miss E looked good. She had on her sparkling two-piece. I love Miss E. She is the matriarch of the family. She whips them into shape. Did y'all see Miss E? She was sparkling in her white sparkling. Her wig was flowing and bouncing and stuff. I liked that, Miss E. You did really good. Then, at this point, Wanda, Mr. Braxton's new wife, was sitting in the hallway. She always seems uncomfortable. She don't want to smoke with Miss E. Then they were looking for the seating chart. Again, if you have an organizer, Trina, you won't have this problem. You could have asked me, J.Evans, to come in. I would have got a couple of my apple pies. We would have organized it for you, sis. You could have flew us in Southwest. We didn't have to be in first class flying on American or nothing like that. But, yeah. So, at this point, Tony shows up in an oversized blazer, a onesie under the blazer, in some boots. Didn't I just tell you a minute ago? Somebody's wedding is not about you, and she said that that was conservative. Now, Tony, I know you like being sexy and sultry, and that's your stage image, and those are the kind of pictures you take, and that's what you give. But at your sister's wedding, it's not about Toni Braxton, the singer. It's about Toni, the sister. What you should have done is just put on a regular dress. Don't do that. Tamar was dressed appropriate. Now, she had on like a pinkish kind of dress. It was fitted. It was nice. Toni, it's not about you. It's not about you're making me high. It's not that moment, sis. Put on some pants. If you want to wear a blazer, put on some pants. Wear a pantsuit. But you don't do that. And then, Traci. Now, I just said you dress down for a wedding. That's not to say you come dressed like somebody that's about to pass out oranges on the interstate. Traci had on some pantsuit. I think it was a jumpsuit, but it looked a hot garbage can mess. No, you can dress down, but dress presentable. But then that just made me feel like Traci wanted to make it about her again. Now, at this point, Miss E is seated at the wrong seat with Wanda. And Traci, again, being extra, it's like, oh, she's sitting here. They couldn't have meant to see her here. Why didn't you get your mama up and be like, Mommy, let's find your seat, since y'all love calling her Mommy? You could have been like, let's find your seat. Now, she's just looking and saying, she said she would never break bread with her. And you just gonna sit there? It seemed like you had an attitude, and somebody came up, you know, to Miss E, but Wanda was looking like the repo man had just took her car. Like, she was like, is she sitting here? Is she gonna knock me out? Is she gonna slap me? Wanda, what is wrong with you? And then she had her hair, you know how like your mama or your grandma used to roll their hair and just take the rollers out, and they ain't had time to comb it. They still had to go to Popeyes and get you some chicken or go get you a Big Mac, and they just wash their hair and say that they sell. That's what her hair looked like. Now, Miss E then was escorted to her table, and she said, about Wanda, she looked so sad. Miss E said, I'm glad they set me over there, because I realized I had the victory over it all. That's what she said. I had the victory over it all. Look at God. I love when she says that. So if you really didn't catch that, she meant about the whole situation with her and the husband. She meant she could have cared less. And she looked good. She had her wig flowing, her outfit right. And Miss Wanda just looked like the repo man was just taking her forward towards this. She should have paid your payments. Now, at this point, They go to Traci saying she's still keeping her distance from her sisters. You still talking about the same stuff. Sis, just let it go. Now, then Tony suggests, allegedly, that the four sisters take Trina's train to her dress down the aisle. Bad idea. No organization. See, this is what happens when you don't have somebody to come in and help organize or help plan. Now, if we didn't say we were going to do this as the original wedding plans, we're not going to do it now. You don't go off script. You don't just say, oh, we're going to walk. Why do y'all need to walk her down the aisle? They were not in her wedding, but y'all had to do that. Now, at this point, Tamar and Traci are backstage singing. They like, stop singing, shut up. So at this point, they go to walk out. Here comes Traci being Forrest Gump and what's eating Gilbert Grape when she gonna bump into one of the fake trees that was lit up with bulbs and fall on that. You didn't have to do that, Traci. See, you realize you're carrying this girl train and then you acting like you're not looking, and then why would you do that? You falling down like a deck of cards. You and Tamar always want something to be about y'all. Hot garbage can mess. Now, what do I think of this episode? I think it was a good episode. I love Miss E's energy. Look at God. But what I did not like and I did not care for is that Tamar and Traci sort of try to make everything about them. Tony is not going to be acting a bunny hop, jackrabbit fool on TV because she's Toni Braxton. She's a legend. She's not going to do that. Tawanda is sensible. She has like little moments, but not like those two. And Trina is her wedding. You don't mess up somebody's wedding. It's not about you. That's what people have to realize. Everything is not about you, especially if somebody's wedding. But Traci apple pie and Tamar apple pie, I'm gonna need y'all to get it together. Now, if I need to be y'all life coach, because Ayana couldn't fix y'all, but J.Evans can. We need to do something because y'all have too much traumatization and Ayana couldn't get it together. But that was the recap and review apple pies. I thought it was pretty good. So y'all stay tuned. Remember, this Sunday I'm doing Sizzling Sunday. I'm giving you a full-on show. I didn't do it, I know, but I'm gonna do it this week. We're gonna talk the talk, chop it up like veggies in a food processor. And be sure, if you're not one of my apple pies, that's my subscribers. Subscribe, set your notifications, and yes, apple pies. The Love After Lockup. This is the season finale. I'm going to do the recap and review, and we're going to chop it up like veggies in a food processor. So we talked the talk, and now it's time to walk the walk. It's about another hour before Love After Lockup, y'all. So I'm going to get ready for that, and I'm going to put some laundry in a washer and then put it in the dryer and leave the clothes there for like a whole week until I need them. Don't judge me. Who are you to judge me?